Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. And I want to say Shalom to Akmanakwath out there, pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. And this one's titled, They Hate People Who Follow the Bible But Will Stand Up for Islam. Okay, once again, they hate people who follow the Bible but will stand up for Islam. Okay, and this is coming from some Reddit comments that I had saved from a Reddit post. It was just really ridiculous. It was a great example of double-mindedness. It really didn't make any sense at all, and as you'll see shortly, Lord willing. And I just wanted to touch on it. So probably a little bit of a quicker one. Lord went through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So let's go and show you what we got going on here. Now, this was a post. Now, it was from the popular page. All right, and the specific Reddit that came from is called Clever Comebacks. And this person, Icy Sog, all right, whatever, posted, "Why am I so obsessed with him?" Now, it's this post originally, all right, from this person named Maverick X. And he said, "Why is a Muslim mayor openly joining an LGBT pride march? Something doesn't add up." All right, he's Islamic and Muslim. I don't know if there's I don't know if there's a big difference on that. I know you got Nation of Islam, which is the Jake that think they're Muslim of some sort, but I don't know if the religion of Islam, or if that's just referring to Islam as like Islamic law. I'm not sure, right? But this guy, he's a Muslim, all right? And the guy asked, "Why is a Muslim mayor openly joining an LGBT pride march? Something doesn't add up." Now, if you know anything about Islamic law, okay, really it's based off it's classified as an Abrahamic religion. Okay, an Abrahamic religion. Now, Abrahamic religion is any religion that focuses on, the Bible, as far as at least the Old Testament. All right, and usually, maybe not always, worshiping the Savior. All right, because I don't think Islam does, and I know Judaism doesn't, because they Judaism doesn't believe in a Savior, any Savior other than God, because they go from the Old Testament. And then Muslim, they believe that Muhammad was the prophet. So, they have it all messed up. But they're all, they all believe, at least usually, in some form of the Old Testament. Okay, and they believe that God is the true power. You have God, or in Judaism they say Yahweh, or in Islam they say Allah, right? But it's all referring to God, the creator of all right, in the Bible. Okay, there's not necessarily referring to Yahweh, okay, because they're not referring to him specifically. They're referring to, false deities that were based around Yahweh, right, and falsely attributed Yahweh's, order and things that he's done to false gods. They took everything that the Lord did and attributed it to, Yahweh. Yahweh never did anything, okay? Allah never did anything. Yahweh did. Okay, that's why it's so important to get the names. But, they're really, this whole lesson really isn't gonna, it's gonna be confusing as far as like what these people are talking about, because it's confusing in general. They don't know what they're talking about. They demonize Christianity, okay, for, you guys say God hates gays, but in Islam, they'll say Allah does not like gay people, and you're okay with it. Stand with Palestine, stand with, all these different, look, man, you don't realize that they are against you. You're so fucked up in the head, obviously, right? Obviously, because you already got the alphabet soup demon, all right, fucking up and contorting your brain, that you can't, really discern anything. So, and this guy says, why isn't he acting more like the racist stereotype I have in my head? A racist stereotype? It's not a racist stereotype to say that Islam is against gay people, okay? It's not a racist stereotype to say that in their doctrine, it is against a it is against their law for a man and another man to get together. And a matter of fact, in most of those Islamic countries, they will kill you for it. Okay? The Christianity, they won't kill you for it. They'll condemn you for it. And Islam, and over there in those Arabic countries, they will stone you, all right, or behead you. They will put you to death for doing those things. Okay? Now, I went ahead and asked ChatGPT, and I have it saved here. I said, is Islam homophobic? And it says that depends on what angle you're looking at it from, culturally, theologically, or individually. Theologically, that's referring to, God. All right, it says traditional Islam, like most Abrahamic faiths, view homosexual acts as sinful. The Quran and Hadith both include passages that condemn the act of same-sex relations, referring to the story of Lot, similar to the Bible. They use those, the Old Testament as well. It's Abrahamic, right? Referring to Abraham, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? It says, so, from a doctrinal point of view, yes, Orthodox Islamic teaching reject homosexuality is morally wrong. And then it goes on to say, culturally, many Muslim majority countries base laws and social norm on those teachings, so you'll find widespread disapproval or even criminalization of same-sex relations. Okay, and that's all I saved of it. I don't have the second part because it got everything that it needed to get. All right, it got everything that it needed to get. So, but you have these people in the comments. All right, this is pretty much the only comment that I got. It says, racist stereotype. Bro, read the Quran. It's not rocket science. And you can see that at least 19 people, downvoted this guy. All right, they disliked it. Say, no, you're wrong. Then this guy, all right, said, bro, read the Bible. That means, according to your logic, all Christians are homophobic. And I went ahead and I downvoted him. So when I like something, it's red. When I downvote something, it's this bluish purple. Okay? And I downvoted it because this guy's trying to, like this guy comes back and says, it's whataboutism. You're trying, what about the Bible? You're right, the Bible is homophobic. All right? It is actively against homosexuality. All right? You can read Leviticus 18, all right, and get in that chapter, and there's at least, I think, two scriptures in there in Leviticus 18, or the other one might be in 16, that directly condemn homosexual, all right, homosexual behaviors. A man that lie with another man, all right, or it says, a man shall not lie with another man as he lieth with woman, all right, it is an abomination, all right. Or you can go and get the scripture that says, if a man lie with another man, they shall both die, their blood shall be upon them, right? Roughly paraphrasing. So yes, those are two scriptures that are condemning homosexuality within the Bible, right? And a lot of people try to say, oh no, it's talking about laying with little boys. You can't lay with little boys either, or little girls, okay? But that's not what it's referring to, okay? And to prove that because they try to get off the word man, and they try to say, in the German translation, the Bible wasn't originally translated in German, okay? That's not its original translation, okay? Not the German Bible, okay? I'm sure there's other Bibles that would say otherwise as well. It doesn't mean they're right, okay? So, in the King James Version is referring to men, all right? In the original scriptures, if you get it in the Talmud, not the Talmud, the Torah, all right, it will also say men. In the Hebrew, it will say men. Are you saying that the original scriptures that it was written in are wrong before they were translated? Because that's what you'd have to be saying, right? They're bugged out. You just don't know what you're talking about, man. And you go on to say things like that, and really, you'll demonize Christianity and say, or you'll try to say, you're saying that about Christianity? Are you saying, you'd have to say that you support Christianity, that's homophobic. It is. Okay? By doctrine, it is. All right? It is against gay people, and the punishment is death. Gay people, by biblical law, should be put to death and killed, stoned, and their brains whacked the fuck open in front of all to see. Death, death, death. Killed. Murdered, man. And you're over here, is that the Bible? Yes, that's what the Bible talks about. So people that are gay Christians don't make no fucking sense either, man. All right, and the Lord's going to kill you. Well, they followed God. Doesn't matter, okay? Doesn't matter if they didn't follow Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. They followed God and Jesus Christ. okay? The false names that were put in the Bible, all right? The false names. They didn't ever get the truth, okay? They never understood anything. They didn't understand that the Lord was going to kill them, so the Lord's going to put them to death, all right? Because they rejected knowledge, the Lord's going to reject them, all right? And that's mainly for the Israelites, because if you're a heathen, you had no chance at salvation anyway, okay? You had not a damn chance in hell. Okay, and then someone said, I like how your only response to Islam being an objectively shitty, oppressive religion is whataboutism. What about Christianity? Right? And then they go on to say, you're missing the point. It's whataboutism because it's not a distraction from the main topic. It's explaining the double standard. A lot of world religions, including both Christianity and Islam, have anti-gay rules and adherents. If it was a white Christian politician, aka the vast majority of politicians in the U.S., no one would blink an eye seeing them in a pride parade. Yeah, they were. If they were a right-wing Republican Christian, someone would bat an eye. You fucking retard. It says... and I'm not going to even read anymore. You can pause it and read it if that's what you want to read. And you can go on to this one. It says, no, the argument is that you will judge every Muslim for the Quran, but you won't judge every Christian for the Bible. I know damn well you have some pro-LGBTQ Christians. Not whataboutism. Okay? Any religious person can be very progressive. So, look, that's and I'm not going to keep on getting about it. It says Islam is not a race, it's a religion, one that is generally opposed to homosexuality. But yeah, these people are all bugged out, man. They're all bugged out. They don't get it. They're saying, oh, Christianity's not like that. Yeah, because they're not following it correctly. All right? Islam, they're not like that. Yeah. Here's the thing. Most of the Islamic people are Orthodox. All right? There's not a lot of Christian Orthodox people, meaning Islamic people will usually follow their laws, to an extreme. Okay, that's the one thing I will give the Arabic people, these Ishmaelites, is that they will literally die and go on, terroristic brigades, all the way overboard if they think that it means that, their false religion, will be listed. Okay, they will literally ride or die for their religion. Okay, so they believe, all right, what they're believing in. It's wrong what they believe in, even though it's based loosely on the Bible. It's wrong. Okay, I could base a car loosely off the design of a Ferrari. It doesn't make it a Ferrari. Okay, it's still going to be a knockoff. All right, it's going to be a clone. All right, that isn't correct, and it's not going to run right. So, they baked in extremism with theirs. And true Christian doctrine. Or at least, when I'm saying Christian doctrine, I'm referring to, of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua in the Bible. We're not supposed to be extremists. We're not supposed to be killing anybody, all right, on this side now. All right, now, biblically, back in the past, we would put people to death that were doing wrong, but it was upheld by, judges and law. You wouldn't just go out and kill someone randomly. They'd have to be brought before judges, all right, and they'd have to be examined and then put to death if that was what was deemed, right to be done. But... these people are just like, they're double-minded is really what they are, all right? So let's get James 1:8. It's because they're double-minded, okay? And James 1:8 is really referring to an Israelite that, is really in 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They pray to the Lord and then don't believe that the Lord's going to help them, which doesn't make any sense. That's double-minded. He's going to help me. No, he's not. Doesn't make any sense. Why pray if he's not going to help, all right? You pray because you think he's going to help, and then you think, oh, he's not going to help. Well, you just thought he was. Now you don't think he is. That's double mind. James 1:8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So yeah, man. They're like, oh, Christianity's, Islam's good, but Christianity's bad. But Islam's against homosexuality, and so is Christian. But they demonize Christianity, but they don't demonize Islam. The same LGBTQ crew will demonize Christians, but they'll go and march Free Palestine. But if they went over to Palestine, they would be demonized because they're homosexual. They're into homosexuality. They'd be put to death because of their homosexual tendencies. Okay, they're pleading, oh, help the Palestinians, but they would be put to death. That's a double mind, man. They don't understand anything. And when you don't understand anything, all right, and you hate knowledge, you hate the truth, you hate when we talk like this, and you especially hate the Hebrew Israelites. If you hate the Christians, oh my God, you're going to hate us. You're going to hate us, right? Because the Christians say God doesn't hate the sinner. He hates the saint. No, he hates your ass. He hates your faggoty ass, fucking soft sugar in the tank ass, fucking bitch ass. He hates you. Fucking Tootsie Roll fucking thief is what you are, right? A fucking turd burglar. Right? That's what you are, man. A fucking faggot. All right, and the Lord's going to kill your ass, man. And you don't like it, too bad, so sad, womp womp, don't fucking care. We don't care about you. The Lord don't care about you. We don't care about you. All right? Well, you're offended. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you think I'm a bad person. I don't give a fuck what you think. All right? I don't give a fuck if you think I'm a bad person. I don't think, oh, you're not progressive. I'm not progressive, motherfucker. Fuck you. Okay? I'm going to still say retard. In fact, I don't give a shit. Okay? We're not progressive over here. We're not PC. All right? Being politically correct is politically correct. It's not morally and scripturally correct. All right? We're SC over here. Scripturally correct, not politically correct. Fuck politics. Fuck what you heard. All right? Fuck who you are. Fuck what you is, man. We ain't about it. All right? Flock you. Dove hour. But yeah, we're not about that, man. We're about the Lord. Not your little faggoty ass, bitch ass concepts of what you think is right and wrong. No. The Lord told us what's right and wrong. And we follow that. Okay? Well, what you say is wrong. What you say is wrong. All right? You want to point fingers? All right? You say what we say is wrong. What you say is wrong. You have nothing other than a finger to point, man. So put your fucking finger away. Holster that shit. All right? Before the Lord breaks that shit off and snaps it like a twig over here trying to point finger. What you believe is wrong. What you believe is wrong. No, what you guys believe is wrong. No, what you guys believe is... We could point fingers all day. All right? But if you ain't gonna be able to come to the conclusion because you don't have the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai dealing with you. Okay? So all it's going to be is a bunch of pointing fingers. Okay? We can tell you why you're wrong. All right? We can give you the scriptures. But you say, no, that was translated wrong. No. You're just not going to get it. So what's the point of arguing with a fucking gay-ass wall? Okay? I'm not going to argue with no gay-ass wall, let alone a wall in general. Right? Let's get this scripture, Proverbs 1:29-31. Let me grab this drink. And then I'm going to pause it real quick there because I got to run in somewhere. I'm going to come back and finish it up, Lord willing. But Proverbs 1:29 through 31, verse 29 says, for that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. They would none of my counsel. They despised all of my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. Now we could read up a little bit more, but this is really getting everything that we need to know. Really, we can go to verse 28 if you wanted to. Or verse 26, you can see what's going to happen. The Lord's talking about this. What's he going to do? Verse 26, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. Okay, so that's what's being talked about. Why? For you hated knowledge. Okay, you hated knowledge. And that's dealing with Israel, mind you. Okay, Israel hated knowledge, and that's the Lord's, chosen people. All right, chosen people, not the chosen of the chosen, because he's dealing specifically with the elect, he's going to, but the 2/3, they're going to be in the kingdom, but they got to be, purified first. And unfortunately, their purification is going to be done through death. Okay, death on this side. They're going to die on this side, but be fixed in the kingdom. The elect, Lord willing, we're a part of it. We're not going to have to die on this side. Okay, we're just going to be translated. Lord willing, we're part of the elect. All right, we're the hopeful elect. We're hoping to be of the elect. All right, there's no such thing at the end of the day as the hopeful elect. You're not going to see hopeful elect in the Bible. It's the elect in the Bible. But when we say hopeful elect, it's because we're hopeful that we're of the elect. All right, we're positive about it. We're thinking we have a better chance to be of the elect than to not be of the elect because we're in this true servant Yahweh Shem Yahushai right now. But we can't say we're a part of the elect because anything can happen, man. The Lord could, have you bug out. All right, you get too prideful or something like that, the Lord could have you bug out. Here it was, you had the truth, but you lost it because the Lord, took it from you and rejected you because, for one reason or another. Okay, so we're hopeful that we're of the elect, but at the end of the day, we don't really know. We're hopeful, more likely that we are than we're not. We're not going to say, oh, we're more likely of the 2/3. No, we're saying, more than likely we could be of the elect, but we're not going to, set that in stone and hammer that nail into the wood. Okay. That's for Yahweh Shem Yahushai to that's for him to know, and we'll find out in the end, Lord willing. It's in a good light that we find out, and we are part of the elect, right? But so that's what it's dealing with here is Israel. But in this sense, if I was really thinking about this when I saw it today, it said, for that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. And if you jump down here, it says, therefore they shall eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. So you got to think about this. If you're being filled in the fruit of your own way, all right, you're being filled in the ways that you are, all right, and you hate knowledge, what are you going to be filled with? A hate of knowledge. So what are you not going to have, right? knowledge. If you hate knowledge, right, you're going to eat of the fruit of your own way, and you're not going to receive knowledge. You hated it? Cool. The Lord's not going to give it to you, okay? And that's not spiritual wisdom, because a lot of you aren't going to receive that anyway, because one, you're not a part of the elect. A lot of time, you're not even of Israel. You're a heathen, okay? But that means you're still going to, eat of the fruit of your own way, which is understanding, a lack, thoughtless, all right, understandingless, okay, a lack of knowledge, a lack of understanding, a lack of wisdom, a lack of, intelligence, ultimately, all right, of being able to formulate coherent thought, all right. You're going to be double-minded and say, oh, these Christians, they just hate gay people, but these these people over in Palestine, they need help. They hate gay people too. So what are you talking about, man? That's going back to that James 1:8. That's that double-mindedness, man. But you're double-minded and you don't even realize it. Okay? You don't even understand. Okay? And no amount of hate or bullshit that you got can compare to the Lord. You can't scripturally battle with the Lord. You can't factually battle with the Lord. All right? The Lord is just right all the time. He's just and he's right. So he's just right. Right? He's just right all the time. You say you can't argue with the Lord because he's always right. He's never wrong. All right? There's never been a time in history where the Lord was wrong. All right? He made everything. All right? If he said, oh, the trees grow this way because of this, then he'd be right. You want to know why? Because he made the trees. He knows how they work, not you. Well, no, that'd be wrong because the way we study, it's not fuck you and fuck your science. You don't know. The Lord's the one who knows. Okay? He made everything, not you. All right, Esau, the so-called white man, wants to think he knows every damn thing. We know everything about science. Yeah, but you don't even know about half what's in the fucking ocean. Okay? You haven't even been to space like that. All right? You got videos out there with all these people that are currently, they show people in space currently floating around. All right, in the what is it? The ISS, the International Space Station, are floating around doing all this shit, and you can see like wires and shit. There's a video I saw where you can see wires, or you can see how one guy's floating and it looks like he's like in some weird wire harness, and the other guy, was going by the camera and had to push himself, to float because he was like walking on the ground normally or some shit, in the video. And it looked like he glanced over by the camera, was like, oh, and then like had to fix himself. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. So I'm going to leave it right there, and I'll be right back. I'll piece it back together. I'll be right back with you in just 1 minute, Lord willing. All right, we're back. So let's go, and we're just about to get Proverbs 21 and 30. So let's head over there and get that. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and read it in the King James Version first. It's going to be Proverbs 21:30. There is no wisdom nor understanding nor counsel against the Lord. So there's no amount of knowledge you can try to bring against the Lord, or try, you can't fight him. Okay, you can't fight the truth. All right, it's impossible. It's not something that you can do. You can just be wrong and you can sit down. Is what you can do. So again, there's no wisdom nor understanding nor counsel against the Lord. So you can't use. There's no information that you can use against the Lord. It's impossible. Okay, it's literally impossible. Now, I like the way the NLT breaks down in Proverbs 21:30. It says, "No human wisdom or understanding can or plan can stand against the Lord." So, no amount of whatever confusion that you've got going, all right, can you ever try to bring against the Lord? Okay, and say, "Oh, this was this word." No, the Bible is just true, and the only way to refute anything in the Bible is to say that it doesn't exist. Okay. That's the only way to do it. That's why anytime you see these atheists or anything, or the Christians, they'll just say, no, that doesn't exist. Or no, that's not. Even the Christians are like, no, that script, nope, that script, no, that's not what it's talking about. No, it doesn't mean that, right? Say, oh, the point that you're making right now isn't valid because either it doesn't exist, all right, in the capacity that you're talking about, or, some other, bullshit excuse. Or the atheist will say, no, we can't be bound by that because God doesn't exist, okay? And the Bible's a man-made book, and it's made up, all right? That's really the only way these people can, argue with it. And that's not really an argument. That's a contradiction. You could say, oh, these sodas, right here are good. No, they aren't. They don't exist. Well, no, I can show you right here. No, I don't believe that they exist. I don't believe it, all right? They might exist in some way, but they're not how you're talking about them, right? No, you can't argue with that. Okay, that's not something. If you brought that type of, I don't want to use a double, use a double word. If you brought that type of debate to a debate, all right. If you brought that debate style, it's not really even a style of debate. I don't even want to call that. If you brought that form of communication of contradiction, okay, to a debate, they wouldn't even debate you. They'd say, look, your debate is very amateur and juvenile. And it's not really, it's really not a debate at the end of the day. It's not an argument. It's a contradiction. It's like the argument clinic at Monty Python. You can look up Monty Python argument. And he goes in there and he says, oh, yes, I'd like one argument, please. And they're like, oh, did you want the full half hours or just the 5 minutes? Oh, I suppose I should start with the 5 minutes. And he goes down there and says, hello, I'm here for the argument. Oh, okay, absolutely. Oh, the 30 minutes? There's just, the 5 minutes. All right, sit down. All right, so I came for an argument. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. No, you didn't. I most certainly did. No, you did not. All right, they just go back and forth. Right? He's like, wait a minute, this isn't argument. This is contradiction. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. It's like argument and argument. What do you say? Argument and contradiction are two different things. They can't be the same thing. It says, could be. No, they can't. Yes, they can. Right? And they keep going. All right, and so on and so forth. And I always refer to that, and I say it's funnier than I can make it sound. It's like that when you retell a joke, it's never as funny. So you got to go and watch it, because it reminds me of how these Christians debate. They debate like that. The Lord said, no, he didn't. Yes, he did. I'm reading it just now. No, you're not. Yes, I am. I'm reading it right here. No, you're not. What book's that in? The King James Version. No, it's not. It's not in mine. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Then what are you reading? The King James Version. If that verse is not in there, then you're not reading that. Yes, I am. No, you're not. You must be reading a different book. We're not. Yes, you are. What are you reading? And that's how a Christian conversation goes. God loved the whole world. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. That's not what he meant. Yes, he did. No, it isn't. Look at the Greek. That's what it means. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. Look at it. That's not what it means. All right, whatever. Keep it moving. Beat feet. Go on down. Get out of here. Go on down the street or get off the comment board, because nothing that we can say can change your mind otherwise. Okay, really, we can't change your mind at all. All right, that's Yahweh Bashem Yahushua that changes minds, not us. So, but that's why you can't argue with a fool. All right, you can't argue with an idiot, right? So, again, verse 30, Proverbs 21 and 30, it's great, and it'll never stop being great, because it's Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. No human wisdom or understanding can can stand against the Lord. You have no, you brought a toothpick to a spiritual warfare fight, okay? A superhuman strength fight, right? They say, oh, you brought a knife to a gunfight. No, you brought a toothpick to a spiritual power fight, a spiritual war, all right? A man of omnipotence, okay? You brought a toothpick. Ridiculous, man. You expected to win, too. But, anyway, people are dumb, all right, and you're really fatiguing to deal with. You got black fatigue. Well, guess what? We got Christian fatigue. We're sick of dealing with your fucking simple asses, man. We don't like dealing with you. You got Proverbs 17. Come on now. And 15. Right, you've heard it many times before. Proverbs 17 and 15. He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they are both abomination of the Lord. Regardless if you're a Christian, you're not a Christian, you're not Islam, you are Islam, you're gay, you're not gay. Look, if you're going against the Bible and you're condemning people for doing the right thing, and then the Christians, mind you, they are not right. Okay, they are not right. But if you're condemning them because the book that they follow, loosely, mind you, says that, homosexuals are going to be killed, and you condemn them, so, oh, you're wrong for that. You're wrong for that. The Lord hates you for that. But then you go around, you're justifying the wicked, saying, oh, no, these people that are gay, they are okay, you can't demonize. Then you're an abomination, all right? Even they both are abomination. The person that's doing the sin and the person that's saying it's okay for them to do that sin, right? And not everybody does that sin of homosexuality, but almost everybody in this modern day society of 2025 sticks up for them. All right? You can't just walk out and say, oh, these fucking faggots. You might have an issue, right? And you got to be careful these days because you might get a YN faggot, all right? Hey, cuz, who the fuck you calling a faggot, cuz? Right? So, you might have that happen, right? I've seen, there's a guy that comes into my job, 2, as a matter of fact. And one's a guy who looks like a faggot, very fruity. Says, hey, how you doing today? Right? Checks in, right? To the facility. And the guy that he's got with him is a YN. He doesn't really say anything at all, but he looks like if he spoke, he'd say, hey, right? He's got the, you know what a YN looks like, man. He's got that mentality, okay? Like that thuggish mentality. And these two are peanut butter and chocolate syrup buddies, all right? So, that you would never even know, man. There's people that walk down the street, hey, what's up, what's going on, man? And then, it's like, oh, man, I'm just hanging out. What you trying to do later? Oh, suck some dick. It's like, what the fuck? Fuck you mean? Yeah, I'm hanging out with my boyfriend later. I was going to suck his dick. Like, what the fuck? I would have never guessed. It didn't used to be like that. Back in the day, I was going to suck some dick. You'd be like, yeah, I can see it. This fucking fruit looks like he's going. Now you go, hey, man, you got a problem with me being gay? Like, no, I do not, sir. No, I do not. Not at all. Nope. No, thank you. Have a good day. Fuck, man. These guys, that nowadays everyone's gay. Right? You don't even know. Okay? Back then it used to just be the butches, right? And the studs. Now you got these pretty little feminine girls. Hey, how you doing? And they're gay. You're like, shit, man, fuck. All the cute girls are gay, and I bet I hear the women saying it. They're like, oh, all the handsome men are gay. Everyone's gay. Everyone's gay now. Shit, if they ain't gay, then color me surprised. Shit, a lot of these motherfuckers are gay. So, and they'll stand up for gay people. You can't say nothing about these motherfuckers, but you say something, from the Bible, and oh, you're an evil man. You're an evil man for saying that. God is love. He wouldn't preach any of this hate. Well, he did, all right, all throughout the Bible, Leviticus, and all throughout. But, you can't force an idiot to understand anything, man. And that's what it is at the end of the day. These people, they hate the people that follow the Bible because the Bible has things about homosexuality in it that they don't like. But they'll stand up for Islam even though the Quran has things about homosexuality in it that they wouldn't like. But because I don't fucking know. I can't wrap my head around it. I couldn't tell you why. They're dumb. That's the only explanation. So that's where we're gonna close out. All right, I'll stop. Hurting everyone's brains for today. I know it's hurting mine trying to fucking wrap my head around what this even means. I can't comprehend it. It's double-minded. You can't really understand something that's double-minded unless you're double-minded, right? So that's where we're gonna close out. Lord, what was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakwa. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. We're almost out of here, thankfully. Lord willing, until the next one. Lord willing, shalom.